No, I don't remember. Well, it was 1957. I got to New York. My aunt and uncle lived in Rockaway Park. I thought they were very well off, and turns out to be they weren't at all. And I got a job in 2 weeks. My cousin and my cousin's husband helped me with the New York Times, looking for agencies and 42nd Street. I went from agency to agency. The problem was that I didn't have money, and my cousin gave me $1 a day, and that was not quite enough for the metro back and forth. And when once I had a possibility to go to Teaneck, New Jersey for the job, I wasn't able to go on that day because the bus, I didn't know how much the bus was. It was not enough. I also used to go to Horn and Hardart for a sandwich and coffee. So for $1, it had to be enough for the subway back and forth to Canarsie. At the time, my cousin lived in Canarsie, and the sandwich and coffee. Not to mention that I had no idea in Horn and Hardart when the coffee was coming out, when you put into your quarter or whatever it was, that you have to put your cup underneath. Here I put in the money and the coffee was coming. Okay, things were very interesting. And then I was asking her, why you only give me $1? I will give it back to you in my first salary. I give you back everything. She said, I'm not giving you more because I know that you are going to start shopping and you are going to send it to your mother and father. So I didn't have an answer for that. I just went on, and finally the next day I was able to go to Teaneck. I got the job, and I was in the laboratory doing chemistry job, but I was worried to lose the job. What would I do? I got a room in Washington Heights. I had to move because it was too far away to the job. So with a German Jewish lady, I had a little room in Washington Heights for $15 a week. And constantly I worried that if I get sick and lose the job, how will I pay? I would be homeless. I used to get sick during the lunchtime. I had to lie down. I was 21 years old, and people probably in the laboratory were wondering about me. How come in the ladies' room I have to lie down at lunchtime on the couch? I felt so tired. Maybe this was a little too much for me. And by that time I was very alone because my lover said goodbye at the subway station and I never met him again. That was it. That I never saw him again. He said that his uncle is introducing a woman to him whose family is very well off, and the uncle is very well off. And I just looked at him. I couldn't believe what he's saying to me. We were going to NYU. I was taking a course in English writing and speech. I wanted to get a paper to study further. I was going to be a chemical engineer. And on the way to the subway, at the subway station, before I took the train, he was telling me this story about his uncle and this woman whom he is going to be introduced. And I just said goodbye to him. We had sex like two days before. I didn't understand him, and I just felt so sorry and so alone. How can he do this? Okay, that's about my story. Um, they were very nice to me in the laboratory, the co-workers. One of the co-workers used to pick me up. Of course, I paid for the gasoline, picked me up in Washington Heights, took me through the bridge, and took me home with a car. He delivered a few people, was very helpful. Um, but the landlady always wanted me to get home by 11 o'clock, and if I would not, she was going to put the chain on. And there was one time when I did have a boy to take me out. I went home, and she wouldn't let me in. And it's good that I was very embarrassed in front of the man whom I went out with, that I am putting myself in such a situation. It's good that I knew a friend whom I met in Camp Kilmer, where I arrived and I was checked in to come to the United States. It's like Ellis Island, Camp Kilmer. So I had to go to her. She was nearby, and I spent the night with her. But uh, there is more to my story, but it's enough. I think it's enough to show what a Jewish girl went through in Budapest and how left the country and tried to make a life in America.